they're going to help lead Oklahoma one way or another. And, of course, on the other side, when you look at the Vandals, Idaho being led by one of the big players, Hope Hassman, your Big Sky Tournament MVP, coming off of a great game in the last one, averaging 14.2 points per game.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Idaho going with the same starting five that won their regular season and Big Sky Tournament in Oklahoma. Same starters in every game this season, one of only 10 teams to be able to say that. It is the second highest scoring starting five in the nation, trailing just South Carolina. We are set to begin in Norman here in the Lloyd Noble Center. The Sooners have been waiting a long time to get this going. Oklahoma with the ball on the opening possession. They made the Sweet 16 last year, a number 4 seed this year. Verhulst just muscles her way to the basket.
Well, that's a good start for Oklahoma. And see the crowd up on their feet for the first basket, already sitting down. But Verhulst gotta love the attack to the basket, inside out.
3 on the way for the Vandals. Again, these are 2 of the fastest paced teams in the country. And Gardner gets the cleanup bucket for the Vandals. Plenty of running tonight. Chavez kicks it to Williams. And here come the Vandals. Uriarte, very much of an international flair for this Vandals team. In fact, their head coach, the only Brazilian head coach in Division I. That was partially touched, and Van grabs the rebound.
Yeah, I already like the pace of this game, and I think both teams are going to try to go up and down, up and down.
Good D. Barboza stopping Beers inside.
I think it's going to be important for Oklahoma to get Beers going early. She didn't really produce a lot in the LSU loss in the SEC tournament, so I know that that's going to be an area they want to expand on.
3 by Pinheiro is off the mark. Verhulst as the only bucket for Oklahoma to Reagan Beers. Beers going to drive right down the lane and gets the finish.
Right on cue when you realize you are wide open up at the top, and I love that she took the extra dribble. She took her time and finished.
Oklahoma, we mentioned their offense, also an excellent defensive team as well. They can turn you over in a hurry. Barboza, nice take. She covered a lot of real estate.
Yeah, she definitely did, and I think it can be important for both post players. They're excited about this matchup.
And then Barboza with a deflection on the defensive end. Idaho hanging with Oklahoma. 3 on the way. Will not go down, and battle for the rebound. It'll be Oklahoma's ball. A fast and furious start, which is exactly what Arthur Morera wants to see in his first season as a head coach, the unanimous Big Sky Coach of the Year. I mentioned he's Brazilian and the only Brazilian Division I head coach really in history, not just currently, but he sees the game very differently, having learned it as a child in Brazil from watching television. Fell in love with it.
And I love it that in his second season, he's been able to have the success that he's had. You can tell the players absolutely love playing for him, and we talked about this on an earlier broadcast, but you can tell that from all of the coaches that are here.
Yeah. Jenny Baranczyk. Jenny has been working hard this week. She was in practice yesterday with the scout team, still posting up. She has been doing a great job getting fans to the game here on social media. It is a 9 Central Time start here, and gave away free coffee to several fans tonight. They did a fantastic job to make sure the Sooners were here in the stands. It's spring break. And Gardner again with the bucket. Gardner with 4 points.
Well, you said it, Sam, and you look around and Van answers the call, but you look around and Oklahoma fans have showed up. It's wonderful to see just the energy that's in this building, especially with it being late and a later start.
Yeah. Second straight year the Sooners have hosted. You know, I wish both teams would hustle a little more.
I like the energy. I think we're going to see a lot of substitution tonight. Just coaches trying to keep their players fresh for one, but you got to have the legs to get up and down for 40 minutes.
Oklahoma had an intense practice yesterday. Jenny Baranczyk said when they lost to LSU in the SEC tournament, as Verhulst hits the three, it could have gone one or two ways, and she's been very happy with the way her team has responded with this off time.
Well, the one word she used was hunger. You got to have that hunger. And she felt like the freshmen coming in, especially when the underclassmen trying to respond, and they responded.
Chavez leads the nation in pull-up threes in transition, misses that one. Anabia with the ball, of Beatrice Passos, that's what she goes by, Anabia. And an offensive foul. Good job by Kaya Smith to draw that foul. And a fast and furious start, which is exactly what we expected. This Idaho team has won 18 straight games. They won the Big Sky regular season as well as the Big Sky tournament. Their 5th NCAA appearance, but the first since 2016. Stewart, trailer three, won't go down.
I don't know if that's the play and that's the shot you want right off the bat.
Chance for Idaho to take the lead. They are very aggressive. Turnover, Verhulst goes to the deck to save it, up to Van. Van dribbled it off of her foot. Here come the Vandals.
Well, I can only imagine for the referees already if this is what they're in for the whole night, but this back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, already we've had 20 shots taken in the game. And a jump ball. It'll stay on this end with Idaho. And to me, it's really our first look at this Idaho team and the way they play. What do you think so far?
Well, I love it so far. I love what I'm seeing, just up and down. And, you know, as the game flows on, you'll start to see them get back and get into some sort of offensive rhythm. But right now, they haven't needed it. They just have been running and been able to just run on the fly.
Both teams have made 4 field goals. OU has a three-pointer by Verhulst. That's the difference in the score. Battle for the rebound is one inside. The stick back is missed by Dos Santos. Verhulst, deep three. That is short. This Idaho team loves to shoot the three. And on her second three, Dos Santos connects.
Well, Dos Santos was ready for that shot. And if you know that you're going up against three-point shooters, you got to get your hand up.
Smith answers on the other end, and we're tied at 11. Pinheiro trying to get by Verhulst. Good defense by Peyton Verhulst. So catch your breath, everybody. How about this start?
Well, we got going back and forth, and a nice drive to start for Idaho for the Vandals. But the answer back on the other side, Oklahoma doing a great job.
With TurboTax. Now this is taxes. Both teams on Selection Sunday found out their fate for Oklahoma, a second straight year of being a top 16 overall seed. They are hosting in front of the home crowd this weekend, and the home crowd staying up late tonight. And what a start. Oklahoma leads the nation in possessions per game. They average 81 possessions per game, already 12 possessions here in the first quarter.
Well, back and forth, we knew this was going to be a fast-paced game, but I think until you actually get into it, you don't realize how fast it could actually be.
Lead pass up to Chavez, and Reagan Beers gets the assist. Nice pass.
And when we talk about electric, Chavez is electric. Great drive.
Chavez breaks up the drive. And then Verhulst saves it from being a turnover. Three is on the way, in and out by Lofton, and a foul on the floor. First foul.
First foul on Gardner, number 3.
There's a regular. They got a laugh out of this, Tamika.
Yeah, because Chavez is always smiling, first of all. Like when she's on the floor, even whether good or bad, most of the time you see her smiling, and Beers takes it down low. I love the pass.
Reagan upset she didn't make that bucket, but she's going to go to the free throw line. Good play. That's his second foul on Gardner. Jenny Baranczyk, again, a finalist for National Coach of the Year. Beers on the free throw line now. One of the best post players in the country. She's the only Power 5 player in the nation with 2,000 career points and over 1,100 career rebounds.
It's been fun watching Beers and just how steady she's been. Of course, she started at Oregon State and made her way to the SEC because she wanted more. You know, you wanted more and going against different type of style players, and that's what the SEC gave her. So it's been fun to watch her and even her game evolve.
Get the feeling this is a big possession for Idaho. They need to see the ball go through the net. Hassman, one of their best scorers, gets the bucket. First team all Big Sky, and as Tamika mentioned earlier, Big Sky tournament MVP. Chavez answers on the other end. Leah Chavez, ESPN's National Freshman of the Year. And the foul is going to go against Idaho's Hope Hassman.
Hope Hassman says that I just went for the ball. And take another look at Chavez going straight down for the bucket, full speed, almost. Anybody that gets in front of her, I'm afraid for. I'm afraid for the other player, not necessarily for Chavez.
I mean, is there any other speed with her? It
100.
is full speed. So this entire Oklahoma team, what a fun brand of basketball they play.
They've had plenty of time to just really focus on themselves, and that's what Coach Baranczyk said. We just needed to get in the gym, see ourselves.
Sahara Williams started every game of her career at Oklahoma. And that is a three-pointer. Yes, you can celebrate Lolo Barboza. Beers off the mark on that free throw line jumper. Boy, Hassman is gritty, isn't she?
I like it.
Yeah, number 4 in black. Real scrappy player. Here's Hassman with the ball. Goes right through 2 defenders, but misses. Zaya Van. Little step back jumper, yes!
Make it look so easy, too. Zaya Van in her flow. I think every single player, for the most part, has scored.
They've had 8 players on the floor. Only 2 have not scored so far. Chavez launches a 3. A little too strong. Remember, Gardner's playing with 2 fouls. Number 3 in black, weaving her way up the floor. 3 is on the way from Pinheiro, no good. Chavez with a rebound.
Well, Idaho is going to shoot some threes, and both teams like that 3 look. And Oklahoma going to take a little bit of a break. Beers muscles it in.
It is tough to stop that. Just got that first step on the defender with the ball fake. Barboza in and out on the 3. Remember, she just made one. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. A fast and furious start between 2 of the fastest paced teams in the country, and a foul down low. And that foul's on Barboza.
And you see the subs waiting to come in. If we're going to stay at this pace, you're going to see a lot of substitution trying to keep up. But what I love about this so far, Beers has looked for the ball consistently every single possession, and that is one thing that Coach Jimmy said is we need Beers to ask for the ball. Get yourself set, let us see your numbers, and ask for the ball, and you've seen that.
So kind of in the next stage of progression for Reagan Beers, being more aggressive, asking for that ball. She was a gold medalist on one of our U.S. teams last summer. That was a big growth for her. Final minute of the opening quarter. Offensive rebound by the Vandals. They'll shoot another three. Why not? Off the mark, and Verhulst gets the rebound and is fouled. And a little too aggressive going for the ball was Dos Santos.
Yeah, Dos Santos trying to get her hands on it, and I think that's what Idaho has been able to do, is get those second shot opportunities by going for the offensive rebound, getting caught up a little bit in those.
So Peyton Verhulst will go to the free throw line. To me, Tamika, one of the most complete guards in the country.
Yeah, Peyton does just about everything for her team, and when Coach Jenny talked about her just involvement even over the last couple of years, she talked a lot about her having to play at multiple positions.
Peyton aspires to be an elementary school teacher. How cool will it be for your second grader to have Peyton Verhulst as their teacher?
That would be kind of cool. Wonder if she'd have her jerseys all lined up on the wall. They'd be like, who is that?
About a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Idaho with the ball. As Oklahoma has just gotten better and better here as the quarter progressed. A 9-point lead at the moment. Shot clock is down to 3. Gardner got to launch it. Gets it! Oh my goodness! Idaho ends the quarter with an exclamation point, and that little Vandal is fired up. We'll see if this is a spark plug to a very good second quarter, as Oklahoma closed that quarter on a 12-6 run. And speaking of run, we are off and running here in Norman, 27-19 at the end of the first quarter. Oh, QQQ. Arthur Moreira, the only Brazilian coach in the history of Division I college basketball, and he's got an international roster. 7 players from different countries, including 4 from his native Brazil. And Coach Moreira just grew up, fell in love seeing basketball on television in the country of Brazil. He eventually got some lessons, started to play, came to the U.S. to play at a Division II school, and got cut midway through his freshman year. And they kept him on as a manager, and that's really where he started to think about coaching and learn the game.
Well, I love what he said, too, just the creativity of coaching.
Yeah.
And that's even something his players talked about. Is you never know what coach is going to pull out, but they love it. They love learning it.
Oh, wow. Sahara Williams, little string music to open up the quarter. That is partially blocked. Williams grabs the rebound. That was the 3rd jumper that Oklahoma's made. Every other basket's come in the paint. Turnover, and then Smith commits the foul, trying to grab it back from Conger.
Yeah, I'm glad that she got up with a smile on her face. Smith almost knew, too. She knew it was going to be a foul. It's like, oh, you see the ball, and that's the thing. Sometimes you see the ball, you take action so fast. And sometimes you want to pull yourself back.
Conger, one of those international players from Estonia. And one of our officials, Mark Merritt, making sure the clock is exactly where it needs to be. So it will be Idaho's ball. Idaho 3 of 16 behind the three-point line. Oklahoma's taken that away from the Vandals. And Van just playing a little too tight against Hassman, but as a head coach, Tamika, do you take that foul?
You take that foul, but sometimes with Van, and I love her aggressiveness, because sometimes she gets up there and you watch her eyes, and she sees the ball, and right when you know she's going to go for it, the player turns a little bit, and that's where she gets herself in trouble sometimes. But yes, I would take that foul.
And a foul on the entry pass.
That's going to be on Stewart, number 21.
Brooklyn Stewart, freshman from Colorado Springs. It was fun yesterday seeing Brooklyn Stewart and Reagan Beers see some of the the players they know from the state of Colorado. Of course, Colorado State is here, both Reagan and Brooklyn from Colorado. Nice little reunion. Pinheiro off the mark on the three, and that just continues to be shut down. Jump ball, though. Fantastic effort by Conger to come over and get the tie up with Lofton.
Well, I don't think we're going to have or see much less energy and effort that Idaho. I mean, one thing they said in the press conference is, why not us? We're going to play our heart out. We're going to put everything on the line, and you've seen that so far.
I mean, when you win 18 straight games and a conference tournament, you're just surging in confidence. Offensive rebound and a little block shot. Verhulst breaks that up. It'll stay Vandals ball. By the way, Idaho's men's team in the NCAA tournament. And Idaho's just one of 6 schools that swept their men's and women's basketball conference tournaments. And this women's team got to go see them play last night because they were in Oklahoma City. Ball on the floor, picked up by the Vandals. Pinheiro misses. Another miss, but not giving up is Dos Santos. Blocked by Verhulst.
You just sometimes find yourself watching in amazement. Idaho, how many possessions did they get on that last one? Just second chance opportunities, the hustle, the grit, the energy that they have.
Offensive rebounding right now is 11-1 in favor of Idaho. But yet Oklahoma with a 10-point lead. Shot clock a factor now. Nice look inside. Pinheiro, Beers got a piece of it. Throws the outlet pass to Williams. And Williams is stripped. Nice D by Deborah Dos Santos.
Deborah, great job getting her hands in there, knocking the ball out.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. March Madness here in Norman. Verhulst with the bucket. That's a look at the Idaho women's team last night in Oklahoma City, watching their men play against Houston. The men came up on the losing side of that. But both teams are very supportive of each other. In fact, it's a slogan, Vandals support Vandals.
I was going to say, I love that, Vandals supporting Vandals. And you look behind us, there's a whole fan section of fans that have come out to support the Vandals.
And right now, they are really having trouble getting in the paint. Verhulst pulls the trigger. Are you kidding me? How confident is that shot?
And look at Coach Jenny on the sideline. She's fired up.
Gardner, no good. Well, for the Sooners fans that stuck around all day to see this, it has been worth the wait so far. As Oklahoma with a very good start, good sportsmanship there by Reagan Beers to help up Hassman.
That's going to be a foul on Verhulst, or on Beers rather. Verhulst just steps up right into the flow of her offense. And this is probably credit to the couple of weeks that they've had just to prepare and get back, find the rhythm for this team going into the NCAA tournament.
I mean, you just cannot underestimate the value of having time to practice like they did since they lost to LSU in the quarters of the SEC tournament. Been off since March 6th. School is on spring break, so all they've had to focus on is basketball. Gardner. Nice kick out on the wing. Pinheiro banks in the three.
Corner bank is open.
I need a physics professor to explain that one. Chavez pull up three, yes. She leads the nation in transition threes. And Gardner falls down. Chavez will get called for the foul.
Sportsmanship all around.
Yeah.
Saw Beers knock down one of the players on the other end, and then, of course, coming back. But Chavez stepped right into a shot. And, you know, one thing that you will learn as you watch this young lady play, when she goes, she goes. There is no hesitation when she shoots. And I would say that every time she shoots, she's probably confident that it's going in.
Absolutely. In fact, that's a trademark of this Oklahoma team, their confidence. Gardner on the free throw line now, made the first team all Big Sky performer. And she was the unanimous Big Sky newcomer of the year, transferred in from Washington State, and makes both those free throws. So Oklahoma will get the ball back. Oklahoma, by the way, leads the nation in shots taken with 20 to 30 seconds left in the shot clock. They like to get it up early. Here we go. Chavez misses that. Rebound by Beatrice Pasos.
I think probably the mindset behind that is you just get more shot opportunities, right?
Yeah, analytics.
And you speed up the game because it sometimes will force the other team to start taking some shots too.
3 on the way. Idaho having trouble making the 3 tonight. Good recovery by Lofton. Lofton will lead the break, uses that left hand to perfection. "15-point lead for the moment." Culleton grabbed the rebound. Outlet pass up the floor to Stewart. And it is out of bounds and will stay with Oklahoma. Kaya Smith checks back into the game for Jenny Baranczyk. Yeah, Coach Baranczyk gave away a bunch of coffee to fans tonight to make sure they would come and stay up for the game. And former Sooner great NBA star Trae Young bought 150 tickets and gave them away today. And they're being rewarded. Brooklyn Stewart, an and one opportunity.
And that's going to be at number 2 on Beatrice Pasos. I love how this Oklahoma team, you can tell that they're gelling and they're clicking. It seems like everybody is on the same page, but look at that excitement for one another. And just that is, when you look at just the progression of the season, the highs and lows that they've gone to, trying to get back into that rhythm.
Well, they were one of the hottest teams in the SEC going into the SEC tournament. LSU ended an 8-game win streak. But Coach Baranczyk was not happy with the way they played in that game. But she's happy now, having the time off and accomplishing a lot on the practice court means Oklahoma is surging right now here in the second quarter. Oklahoma on pace right now to be the 5th team to shoot 90% in the paint in the first half of a tournament game over the last 6 years. And when you have players like Reagan Beers and Beatrice Culleton in there, you can do that. Right now, Coach Baranczyk is giving Beers a breather. Culleton 0 there for Oklahoma is anchoring down the paint. Chavez trying to spin away from her defender, forces it up and draws the foul. And it's going to be on Hope Hassman. So Chavez will go to the line, and Hassman has gotten her 2nd foul. So we have another timeout on the floor, under 5 to play in the half. Chavez will be on the line when we come back. Going through Norman, Oklahoma, and the Sooners. No wonder they have the stagecoach as part of their mascot. They are racing right now, up 42-24. And hey, you know a little bit about the tournament. My partner, Tamika Catchings, a Naismith Hall of Famer. Now, your career was way more accomplished than your NCAA tournament career. But take us back to when you were playing for Tennessee with Pat Summitt. You did win a national championship, by the way.
Yeah, we won a national championship freshman year, and I would tell you it is unbelievable. We went 39-0 that season, but just the energy and being back, like I get the chills every single time. I love working the tournament. I love what I do, getting to see these players, and seeing their reaction in the moment, having this opportunity. But this is what it's all about, March Madness.
Oh, wow. We just saw history made. Aaliyah Chavez had made 62 straight free throws and will now have to start a new streak. She leads the nation in free throw percentage. Oh, my goodness. Are pigs flying right now?
Looking up,
Chavez
nope.
missed 2 free throws in a row. Didn't have that on my scouting report. Oklahoma, though, still very much in control. 3 on the way for the Vandals. Shot is just not falling tonight for them. They are now 4 of 22, but they keep shooting them. And this is a 3. Good board.
But I will say this, Oklahoma's done a much better job of turning around and boxing out. And Smith, again, great defensive possession for Smith.
That'll be the 2nd foul on Gardner. So Kaya Smith will go to the free throw line. You know, Aaliyah Chavez gets a lot of the headlines as being a freshman, but Oklahoma's got some very talented freshmen, including this one, other than Chavez.
Well, yeah, Kaya Smith has come in and really been productive. Love her energy. Started off the game in the first quarter, made a couple of really good plays. But I think really what you're looking at for Oklahoma is just the energy. Coming out, and they feel different. They look different.
They're fresh.
They look, well, yeah, they've been out for a while.
Yeah.
Should be fresh.
Smith misses the free throws. Pinheiro clears the rebound for the Vandals. Vandals need a bucket right now. And 9 of 39 shooting. Ball's just not going through the net. Oh, a nice little volleyball rally there, won by Oklahoma. Van puts in the jumper.
Always watch Zaya Van's face. It never seems like she's out of breath. It always seems like she always has the same look on her face when she's playing defense and offense. Just so like calm, settled.
Good defense inside. It'll be Oklahoma's ball. Zaya Van, sister Skylar, of course, former Big 12 Player of the Year here at Oklahoma, now playing in Italy. Reagan Beers checking back into the game. Beers with 7 points and 4 rebounds earlier in the game. She's really been sitting out this quarter. Wide open. Jumpers off the mark. And a jump ball. It'll be Oklahoma's ball. A 20-point Oklahoma lead. Oklahoma's one of only 2 teams this year to have a win over South Carolina. Texas the other. Longhorns got the Gamecocks twice. But this Oklahoma team can beat anybody.
Well, I can guarantee you right now, they are not even thinking about South Carolina, just one game at a time. And that's what Coach Jenny, like, we just have to get back to playing and being who we are.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking about South Carolina. I just said that to say how good they are.
Yeah, they are. They are a good team, but kind of go back to the conversation earlier, just the highs and lows that they've been faced with, and especially the SEC tournament. Coach Jenny was not happy about that performance for her team, but they've come back and they look fresh, they look different, they look like they're back in sync with one another.
Everybody contributing as well. Good bucket for the Vandals. Hassman, their leading scorer. Cross-court pass to Williams, and the 3 is good. Sahara Williams is heating up.
I think she was like, don't disrespect me. You need to guard me, whether I'm on the outside or the inside. So that was kind of one of those looks.
Well, she's 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Pinheiro with the offensive rebound and is fouled going up. I think they're going to get Van on this foul. That'll be her second.
Well, they said she set the pace, and Sahara Williams, if you're not going to guard me out there, I'm just going to show you what I'm capable of doing. And her game has evolved over the course of the last couple of years, being more of an inside player to really stretching out her game and now being able to be that three-point threat.
Well, she's 2 for 2 behind the three-point line. Pinheiro at the free throw line now. They call her Ana P.
Ana P.
She's from Portugal. Coach also calls her the glove because she's one of their best defensive players. In fact, she was on the Big Sky all-defensive team. And makes both free throws for the Vandals. 18-point Sooner lead. Chavez and Beers along with Verhulst. Three of their main players back in the game now. Here's Williams, heat check. Yes! Still hot.
Still hot. 3 for 3. The bench is going crazy. The fans are going crazy. And you know she's going crazy.
13 points already for Sahara Williams. Under 2 minutes to play in the half. It has been all Oklahoma in this fast-paced opening half. Oh, good team by, yeah, look at Reagan Beers. Hassman did everything she could to get inside, and the Sooners just locked down. Chavez off the screen. Good. It is a clinic right now.
All about making your teammates better. That screen Beers set for Chavez gets her wide open.
Oh, what a start by Oklahoma. Winner faces Michigan State on Sunday, and there's a three knocked down in the corner by Ella Uriarty.
Uriarty set up, focus, but Oklahoma runs it straight up their back.
Lofton with the two. No time to celebrate the three.
No time to celebrate any basket. Really, I feel like they just have been going back and forth, back and forth.
And again, statistically, two of the fastest-paced teams in the country. Oklahoma is the fastest-paced team. And a foul will give everybody a chance to catch their breath. And Barboza will go to the free throw line.
That foul's going to be on Williams. That'll be her first foul. She tried to come over for the help and just bumped the back of her head.
So Barboza, who is one of the Brazilian players, goes to the free throw line now. Another inspiring story. Tamika, she broke her back and did not play basketball for 2 years. This is her first healthy season. She's the tallest player in the Big Sky at 6'5", but I would imagine, I mean, a broken back is just horrific, but yeah, especially when you're 6'5".
I can't even imagine coming back from that, but you talk about just those inspiring stories of players and just what they have to go through to get back, and you know, her being out here. Just inspiring.
6 points here in the first half. Now an 8-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. This will end the half. Chavez probing, shooting, misses. Beers with the offensive rebound and gets fouled, going back up. A lot of players around her. Officials want to make sure they have the right foul called. Katie Lukanich comes out and signals who the foul is on. And foul's going to be on number 14, Conger. That's her first. So Reagan Beers goes to the free throw line.
I was almost thinking that could have been like a setup play. She should have just thrown it off the backboard and let Beers go and get it.
Well, the one thing Oklahoma has not done up to their standard tonight is shoot free throws. They're 6 of 12 here in the first half. Beers makes the second. And Reagan Beers just saw that double-double graphic a second ago. She's set herself up to get another one eventually. 8 points and 5 rebounds here in the first half, but 4 assists. I think maybe her passing goes a little unnoticed.
Well, it does, and I mean, she's such a big focal point, so you look at a lot of double teams, but with the double teams comes somebody that can see the court really well, and she does that.
Final seconds of the first half. Idaho trying to get a bucket. Conger. Shot is missed. Williams with the outlet pass. Stolen back. So Oklahoma shooting 60% in the first half. What a start by the Sooners. They made 6 threes as well. And the Sooner faithful, who are here late on a Friday night, are loving it. So we will send you to our degree in the studio. Looking forward to hearing what Kelsey, Muffet, and Megan have to say about this. This was a perfect start for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, degree in the studio. Take it away, Kelsey.
But as a team, how they're supporting one another.
Keep in mind, this Idaho team has won 18 straight. And they were undeterred putting up shots in the first half. They let a lot of them fly. They just didn't make a lot. They took 47 shots overall in that first half, including 26 threes. Idaho has the ball to open the second half here in the third quarter. Hassman kicks it out to Gardner. Gardner misses the three. Chavez will bring it up the floor. Chavez with 9 points already tonight. Gets the pass, misses the layup, but it fell right to Reagan Beers for the stick back.
I don't think that was a missed layup. I think that was a pass to Reagan Beers. Just another way of doing it.
So we should give her the assist.
Definitely.
Gardner spins away. A good recovery by Sahara Williams. Look at that intensity defensively. Backdoor cut. Hassman draws the foul. A good cut by Hassman.
That's going to be the third foul on Van. She gets caught looking. But look at this. Look at their defensive possession. All right, Sahara Williams.
You can't knock me down. Sahara Williams started every game of her career at Oklahoma. Hassman misses the free throw. Hassman, an 85% free throw shooter. First team All Big Sky this year, over 1,000-point scorer.
We've seen some uncharacteristic misses.
Yeah, and Leah Chavez came in, made 62 in a row and missed 2 earlier. Beers gets loose inside and thanks her teammate Sahara Williams. Trailer 3 on the way, no good. Beers with a rebound.
Beers leading the break right now. I'd love to see it.
Williams couldn't hang on to it and threw it to the wrong player. Culleton's not actually in the game.
I love that energy, though, right here. She was wide open, though. She was wide open. I love it.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I think Colton was asking for the ball.
Yeah.
And she kind of said, my bad, too. Like,
Pinheiro driving is harassed by Verhulst. That is rejected by Beers. Verhulst out on the break. Wanted to shoot the three, goes inside. Williams was too far under the basket, but got her miss and then missed the follow. Sahara Williams, my goodness, she is fired up tonight.
Well, they let her out of a cannon, but even in the press conference yesterday, we talked about the energy and her being really, she sets the tone for this team. So the energy she comes out with is so important. Love the second effort on this possession.
So Williams at the free throw line now, makes that one. Sahara Williams, one of the leaders on this team. I mentioned she started every game of her career. This is tonight her 100th start of her storied Oklahoma career. One of those McDonald's All-Americans that Oklahoma has. 4 of the 5 starters for Oklahoma are former McDonald's All-Americans. I tell you, this Oklahoma team, Tamika, they can go deep in this tournament.
Well, I think when you look at just what they've been able to accomplish.
I mean, just look at the ferocity that Williams grabbed that rebound.
Well, it's go time. When you get to tournament time, and look at that excitement right there. But Reagan Beers posted up down low. The energy is in the building.
Sahara Williams is giving this team an infectious amount of energy. Time out on the floor. Oklahoma has exploded here to start the third. Has been worth staying up for.
Oh, definitely. She's come in and almost being like she just got let out of a cannon because she has exploded and continues. 15 points right now, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And I think even more importantly, it's the energy that she brings. The whole building, when she went out, she subbed out. Everybody got up on their feet and clapping for her in the first half.
She's back on the floor now out of the timeout. See if Idaho can start a little scoring run here. Oklahoma's scored the last 6 points in this quarter. Shot clock is under 10. Pinheiro will shoot the three. Just has not been there today for the Vandals. Lofton to Beers. Beers tries to force it into Chavez. Turnover. It's only the 6th turnover of the game for the Sooners. Beers, though, on the defensive end, breaks that up. And then Beers commits the foul. But for the most part, Reagan Beers has had no issues with fouls. That's only her second. And the big three for Oklahoma, Williams, Beers, Verhulst, those three players single-handedly outscoring Idaho. Chavez with 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Got to add her 9 in there as well.
Got to be impressed, though. Beers on the floor like that. The hustle play.
Yeah, going after it. Gardner defended by Chavez. Gardner knocks it down when Chavez fell. Good shot by Gardner. Chavez into Beers. Williams to Chavez. 3 is on the way. Williams was already running back on D. Thought that was going in.
The confidence.
Yeah. Deep 3 for Gardner. And Williams grabs another rebound. 7 rebounds for Sahara Williams. Oklahoma, one of the rare times tonight, they hold the ball for almost 10 seconds on a shot clock. Sahara Williams misses that shot. Ball's on the floor. Beers picks it up, muscles it up, and draws the foul. Good heads-up play by Reagan Beers just to throw it up there and ended up getting the foul called.
Ella Uriardi gets called for that foul.
It's her second. And so Reagan Beers will go back to the free throw line. Beers very close to her 21st double-double this season. She's got 9 rebounds, 14 points.
It's interesting when you look at just Oklahoma, and even when we talked to Coach yesterday, like we knew it was going to be an up-and-down game, the fast pace. But until you're actually, we're just watching it. Can't imagine being on the floor and actually going through it. But that level of the speed of the game that they came out with in the first half, I mean, I looked over at you, you were sweating.
Well, I mean, that's nothing new, by the way, but I was going to ask you, I mean, you were a player that was known for never stopping. You were constantly moving. Would you have liked to play in this style?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it helped, too, when your team is on the same page. And you watch Oklahoma, and, of course, Idaho, like, they're on the same page. Those shots just aren't falling. Half of those shots fall down. We're looking at a different game.
Jenny Baranchek bringing Chavez and Williams to the bench. And Chavez doing a good job tonight, distributing the ball, looking for Reagan Beers inside. Gardner gets a screen, forces the pass inside. You're just not going to get away with that against Oklahoma. Verhulst gets credit for the steal. Van inside to Stewart. No basket. Foul on the floor, says Katie Lukinich, our lead official.
Gardner gonna get called for that foul. She's looking around like, how? How did that get called on me? But Stewart did a good job of posting up.
Third foul on Gardner, so she will head to the bench, and Beatrice Passos will replace her. Oklahoma ball out of bounds. Both teams with 3 team fouls, and make it 4 now on Idaho. So next foul on the Vandals will put Oklahoma on the free throw line for the rest of the quarter. Pinheiro gets called for that. Verhulst probing, little fade away, good. How sweet is that shot?
Yeah, Verhulst has been more aggressive on the offensive end. I'd like to see it because I think for Oklahoma, as they look at going into the tournament, balanced scoring is so important. but I think a big piece of it is Verhulst.
Kaya Smith gets called for that foul. So the Vandals will have it out of bounds. Hassman, the leading scorer for Idaho tonight with 8 points. Vandals only have one player in double digits. That's Gardner with 11. A nice, ambitious take by Hassman, but denied again. So much length that they have to deal with, Oklahoma. Van, in and out. And a jump ball. Stewart would not let go of that ball, but was tied up, and it'll stay on this end because of the possession arrow. So when we come back, Oklahoma will have the ball. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One and is brought to you by Nissan. And again, they lost that last game against LSU in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. The SEC as a conference got 10 teams in. Keep in mind, the SEC has 2 of the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament in Texas and South Carolina. And what do you think about her comments about playing in the SEC?
Well, I agree. I mean, I think every single night, night in and night out, you're going against some of the top players. And even for myself, when I looked at why I chose to go to University of Tennessee, it was I wanted to play with the best. I wanted to play against the best. And you get that opportunity. And I wanted to be coached by one of the best coaches. So you get that opportunity in the SEC. Not that any other, not to knock any other conference, but I do believe in just how physical it is night in and night out.
We went to Jenny's office after their practice yesterday, and she re-emphasized that. She said, you know what I said in the press conference about the SEC? You're not playing against good teams. You're playing against teams that legitimately have a chance at winning the national championship. That is what you're dealing with in the conference schedule. And so it does humble you, but it also makes you better if you let it.
It makes you hungry. But one of the things that I love that she talked about is the press conference. They also asked just about what are you working on to get better? And Smith continues.
Good steal by Kaya Smith, the freshman from Oklahoma City.
But I like what she talked about, is not always having to work on what you're bad at.
Yeah.
But also, you got to work on the things that you're good at, and how do you become great?
Well, Verhulst stepped out of bounds and is complaining that she was pushed out of bounds. But will not get that call. It'll be Idaho basketball.
Well, the fans are booing.
I love it.
At the end of the day, it's still Idaho basketball.
They're still into it. It was the right call, though. Excellent call by Katie Lukanich. Again, if you're an official in the NCAA tournament, you're considered the best of the best. It's a reward system for the officials, just like these players. They get a ticket to the big dance as well. Oh, Stewart, not in my house.
Stewart just stays right in front and able to get her hands on the ball.
Stewart was a very good volleyball player in high school, and that lends itself to being a good shot blocker on the basketball court. Vandal ball. Lob knocked away right to Van. Oklahoma was waiting on it. Oklahoma leading this quarter 12-3. Backdoor cut and a foul. That was brilliant by Kaya Smith.
Well, Kaya Smith read it, and Idaho player went to deny the out of bounds, and she took her one more step further to force the defense to go out and made that backdoor cut. That is what you are taught. Great. I want to say elementary, like you. I remember I was taught fundamentals early on in my game.
Well, that'll end up on the summer camp film. The campers at Oklahoma basketball camp will see that play.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to set up the backdoor cut. So that will be something that you can take and you can actually show the kids in camp. This is how it's done correctly.
Oklahoma builds its lead. Winner will play Michigan State on Sunday, and this is the largest lead for the Sooners right now. Michigan State had a battle with Colorado State tonight in a 5-12 game. Michigan State, the 5 seed. Just tough for Idaho to get a shot off. And that entry pass went off of Stewart's foot. And Verhul says, my bad.
Stewart said her bad, so between both of them,
they both took the blame.
You know what? But that's what being on a team is, and I think Stewart's like, I got my hand on it. If I can get my hand on it, that means I have to catch it.
Pinheiro, that's stripped by Van. Just picked her pocket, and Van makes a 3 off the steal.
The referee called that a 2. Her foot was on the line.
Yeah, just inside, you're right. Raya Van, 3 of 5 shooting tonight. Oklahoma going to bring in Chavez, Beers, and Culleton at the next dead ball. Gardner's 3 is off the mark. Nice offensive rebound. And Dos Santos is fouled going up by Stewart. Second foul on Stewart. But this will allow Culleton, Beers, and Chavez to return to the Sooner lineup.
Interesting, and you can kind of look over at the Idaho bench. It's like, man, when Oklahoma continues the subbing and the different players that are coming in, the different lineup, but especially down low when Reagan Beers is in the game. She's just such a phenomenal player down low.
First free throw of the night for Dos Santos. What a breath of fresh air she was yesterday. Dos Santos from Brazil just never stopped smiling throughout the press conference yesterday. Such a joyful young person. Kick out on the wing. That is a 3 off the mark. And this Idaho team came into this game on an 18-game win streak. This is unquestionably considered the greatest women's basketball team in University of Idaho history. And the future looks very bright for this program. Arthur Marrera, almost a coaching savant in the way he coaches and teaches the game. And in the Big Sky, it paid huge dividends this year. Chavez gets another rebound. Sooners not going to slow it down. Foul inside. Beers and Dos Santos battling inside. Dos Santos gets called for the foul. That's her second.
Well, that's the smile you were talking about as she walks off the floor. She's trying. And Beers, we already said it, she's just hard to guard. She does a great job of creating that space and getting into Dos Santos.
Reagan Beers, 6 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. Beers 1 rebound shy of her 21st double-double. And Oklahoma will be disappointed in the free throw shooting. That's about all. They're 12 of 21 from the line, but they haven't needed them. Good D. Beers injured a little bit on that drive, favoring her right leg, and is now jogging back into the play, bending over, and Reagan Beers is going to come out of the game shaken up on that last play. So let's just hope that's something she can walk off.
I can guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but I think when you look at just what's ahead for Oklahoma, you got to wonder if we'll see her again tonight.
Final minute of the third quarter. And in this third quarter, Oklahoma has outscored Idaho 17-3. And here's what happened to Reagan Beers. Look at the bottom of your screen, 15 in white. Got pushed back. Chavez pulls for three, no good. Williams with the offensive rebound over the defender and sticks it in.
Yeah, I think he was looking at trying to see. Gardner was asking if that was over the back, but Williams didn't even touch it, just jumped up.
17 points for Sahara Williams. She's also got 8 rebounds. Put her on the double-double watch. This could be the final possession. No, they're going to shoot. Offensive rebound for the Vandals. They'll get another shot here to end the third quarter. Hassman misses the three. So Oklahoma, it will not count, but it's been that kind of night for Sahara Williams.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Sahara Williams, what a delight tonight. They're going to review it.
On the floor, no goal.
Yeah. Unfortunately for her, that shot won't
no
count.
basket.
But that's just typical of Sahara Williams' night tonight. So Oklahoma holds Idaho to just 3 points in the third quarter. They scored 19 themselves. And everyone who has stuck around in Norman tonight is having a blast as Oklahoma is rolling right now. Floyd Noble Arena and propelled the Sooners to a 38-point lead heading into the fourth quarter.
It's been fun to watch this Oklahoma team. They are clicking on all cylinders. The way they move the ball, players getting involved, defense is on point, offense is on point.
Idaho Vandals team, again, best in their school's history, coming in on an 18-game win streak. Regular season champions and tournament champions in the Big Sky. But tonight, I don't think a lot of teams would have been able to deal with Oklahoma the way the Sooners have played. And a foul. Uriarte will go to the free throw line. And that foul on Chavez.
That's a second. Idaho really, we weren't used to seeing this in the first half as far as taking time in their offense, but it seems like they've used more clock in the second half and really trying to get better looks.
Uriarte, an 80% free throw shooter. I don't know what it is about tonight, Tamika, but both teams have had trouble making free throws, and they're both good free throw shooting teams.
Kind of wonder if it's been the pace of the game and up and down. You know, for Idaho in their division, how many teams can run like they have ran tonight. Same thing for Oklahoma. We've known that, but that's what they do.
Chavez now in double digits, 11 points for her, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Michigan State was here watching this game. They left at halftime. Gardner knocks down the 3. That is her second made 3 of the game and the 7th made in 38 attempts by the Vandals. Reagan Beers stays on the bench, got a little shaken up toward the end of that last quarter. There's Colleton posting up and draws the foul. And I think Conger gets called for the foul.
And you got to look at the post-up that they have had. And even for Reagan Beers, when you look at just down low, they are dominant, posting up that close to the basket.
We'll feature Dr. Culleton at the free throw line. Beatrice Culleton, senior from Overland Park, Kansas. Plans to attend medical school after she graduates. Wants to be either a pediatrician or an orthopedic surgeon. Oh, Sahara Williams whips that back into bounds, and it'll be Idaho's ball. But that was fun to watch.
That was fun to watch. Williams is everywhere.
What a night for Sahara Williams. She has just been a blast to watch. Double-double tonight, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Final quarter in the second round here in Norman will be Sunday. Game time to be determined. And Gardner is heating up here in the final quarter. She's made 2 threes already in the fourth quarter.
Well, they said that they will never give up and that they're going to continue to play their heart out, and we've seen it.
Oh, what a play. Wide open was Chavez for the easy layup. Vandals typically will just keep shooting the threes. A lot of analytics involved in their system. Gardner misses the 2. She had made 2 straight threes. Chavez loves to shoot that 3 in transition. Verhulst gets the offensive rebound. Van will shoot again. That is swatted out by Culleton. Here's Verhulst. Chavez gets the offensive rebound. Oklahoma just dominating the glass on this possession.
Extra opportunity for them to score.
Van had a good first step, missed the shot. And a shot clock violation. That didn't hit rim. But Oklahoma ate up some clock on that possession. And Reagan Beers going back to the scores table and is going to come back into the game here in the fourth quarter. And got shaken up a little bit in the third quarter, limped off the floor, and now smiling as she comes back onto the court.
Well, this gives an opportunity when you look at why you put players in different situations. It gives you a chance to look at different lineups because you never know what can happen, right? As you continue to play and go in, but also this is for the seniors. The seniors and their last time being able to have these opportunities.
Shot clock down to 5. Gardner's had the hot hand here in the fourth quarter, misses, and Beers now with her 21st double-double of the season, 66th of her career. Vandals on the move. Gardner with the left hand, it's good. 19 points for Gardner. What a pass. And Chavez gets a lot of help up.
I think Chavez needed a break, though. She kind of laid there for a second.
Fouls on Sarah Bronze, her first foul. And Beers fouled from behind by Brands. Brands, a senior from California. And an offensive foul called against the Sooners as they tried to run that inbounds play. And it's going to be on Reagan Beers, her third.
I think Reagan, I don't even know if Reagan knows that foul's on her. She kind of looked around like, okay, get back on the other end.
Brands puts up the jumper, no good. Sahara Williams, another rebound, and she's fouled.
That's going to be Gardner's fourth foul.
I get the feeling Sahara Williams is a night person.
I think when you get into the arena, you don't care what time it is when you get the opportunity to play. And it's really important, as they talked about in the press conference, she even said, my energy has to be high for this team.
Yeah, this Oklahoma team was talking about how they would handle this late start, and they've handled it well. Reagan Beers with a long 2. And they adjusted their practice schedule this week once they found out they'd be playing the late game tonight. Three on the way is no good by Gardner. Chavez, another rebound, clears it to Verhulst, and Culleton fell down. Verhulst misses the shot. That was dangerous for Culleton. She came down with her hands out first, but seems to be okay. Smith steals it back for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma just looks really good right now. The way that they're playing on defense, attacking the basket, playing with each other, moving the ball.
Well, Brands gets called for another foul. Chavez will go to the free throw line. Again, Chavez leads the nation in free throw percentage coming into tonight, a 94% free throw shooter. She had made 62 straight free throws, but missed 2 earlier. And now here's a chance to start another streak.
She's probably a little bit relieved, right, so that she can start over.
So her dad, Sonny, a fixture at all of her games. So is Reagan Beer's dad, Ike. Chavez starts another streak. There's a look at Ike. Ike, a police officer by trade, 2 sons, college football players. Reagan, obviously, incredible basketball player.
I love when they show him in his face and his facial. He wears his expressions on his face, and so you never have to wonder what he's thinking.
He's not happy with that foul called. Doesn't matter the score.
Well, that gives her 4 fouls.
Yeah. Five minutes to play. It's been an inspiring performance by Oklahoma tonight. 3 is good by Ana Beatriz Passos. Pierce gonna drive. Misses the shot out of bounds. It'll go back to Idaho. So we will step aside for the moment. 4:42 left to play. Oklahoma destined for the second round. Sunday. And it's time now for our slam dunk matchups brought to you by Wendy's. Should Oklahoma hang on now, and they got a 34-point cushion, they will have to face Michigan State out of the Big Ten. Oklahoma the 4 seed, Michigan State a 5 seed.
And I like that matchup. We saw Michigan State and Colorado State. They came out and gave it to them. Spartans were able to get out with a win. So it'll be an interesting matchup. Oklahoma looks really fresh right now, up and down.
Chavez into Stewart. Stewart misses the shot, goes out of bounds. And the call is going to be Idaho's ball. Jenny Baranczyk is saying, you know what? I want to appeal that. So our first appeal, a timeout is on the line for the Sooners, as they did not feel like they touched it last.
I don't know if it was more the players or the fans that encouraged that.
Is Idaho.
Katie Lukanich, our lead official tonight, explaining that the way it's called, the ball will be Idaho's ball. Jenny Baranczyk looking at her bench and asked what they thought, and they said appeal it. So that is number 4, Hassman for Idaho. And the question is, did Culleton touch it? That's what the officials think. 0 for Oklahoma, number 0. And is that, we got it last. Looks like from that angle, it's Hassman. First appeal of the game tonight. Fans know how to make the most of it. You know, how cool is it for her? Friday night, it's after 11 o'clock, getting to see the Sooners play, hanging out with Dad.
And it's a good night. It's been fun, the energy that's been in the arena, and even the fans that are still around. Like, the energy that has been in here is contagious. what you said earlier, that Coach Jenny passed out coffee, so these people should have a whole bunch of coffee in them.
She bought coffee for at least 100 fans. I hope he didn't drink coffee.
He's just revved up the energy. It's the music.
Boomer rocking the crowd. They did such a good job to get fans out. There's a spring break going on right now.
After the review, the call will be overturned. It'll be Oklahoma basketball and line with 22 seconds on the shot clock.
So they'll put a couple seconds on the shot clock. Oklahoma will get to keep the basketball. A successful appeal by Jenny Baranchek. So no timeout charged to Oklahoma. They still have their full complement of timeouts, which is 4. Idaho is down to 2 timeouts for the remainder of the game. That is good by Emma Tolan, the first Irish player in Oklahoma history. Good take by Hassman. Tolan's 8th made 3 of the season. A crowd favorite here, number 10 in white with the ball. Turnover on the Sooners. Hassman will pull it back out. Hassman gets around Tolan. Goes to the opposite side of the basket. How did she do that?
I don't know, but she slid through 2 players. Able to get the ball to go in.
Hope Hassman, 12 points tonight. Tolan gives it to Stewart, who throws back to Van. Van will reset the offense here. Shot clock is under 10. Very rarely happens when Oklahoma's on offense. A good steal. Gardner came from the backside. Up to Hassman. Hassman misses the layup. And Kaya Smith gets the rebound, decides to bring it up. Zaya Van.
Oh, this is the pace that we saw in the beginning of the game, back and forth for both teams. You can tell legs are a little short, though, tired.
Gardner short on that 3, and Culleton grabs the rebound. This Oklahoma team averages 87 points per game. That's where we are right now. They're on pace to break their single-season scoring record. They broke it last year, so they're basically breaking their record from last year. Pinheiro, nothing there. Goes back to Gardner. That's defended. Well, Nicole Briscoe and Michael Leaves will be joining us after the game on SportsCenter. So stay with us here on ESPN for SportsCenter. Full recap of March Madness, men's games, women's games. What a day. It's our first day of first-round women's games. More first-round games coming your way tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. Winner of this game, Oklahoma, will be facing Michigan State on Sunday, but the game times have not been announced yet. That's a 3 by number 23, Anna Bia.
Great step-back 3 by Anna Bia. It's been fun. I spent all day as we were getting ready for this game watching the games that were on TV, and you're just flipping from one channel to the next to get a good mix of men's games, women's games. It's been fun.
Some fantastic individual performances today. If you weren't watching, TCU's Olivia Miles had a triple-double in the Horned Frogs win earlier this afternoon. And here in this game, Sahara Williams and Reagan Beers both with double-doubles. And we'll reload tomorrow. Shot clock down to 5 on this possession. Smith works her way to the basket, misses it out of bounds, and it'll go to Idaho.
You got to give it up to Idaho. The Vandals came out and first couple first half, the back and forth, and no matter what, even in the press conference, they said, don't ever count us out. And they have played hard all game. You can just see the up-tempo-ness of the game and them not being able to knock down shots. But this is a good team. This Vandals team, what Coach Maria has been able to do with his squad has been phenomenal.
Caitlin Deaver's in for the first time tonight, number 13 for Idaho. And it's blocked out of bounds, but a foul called as well. It's going to be on Lofton. And Oklahoma could not have asked for a better return to the game court after they lost in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament to LSU back on March 6th. And now the free throw line, number 14, KK Conger. Conger again from Estonia, just a freshman. Played a big part in their run to the championship of the Big Sky tournament. Under a minute to play. Oklahoma, to this point, shooting 50% for the game. Stewart banks it in.
And she got the ball back. She said, why not me? Took that shot. They moved the ball around really well.
5 points for Stewart tonight. So another thing Oklahoma's done well. They'll be a tough scout. They've really scattered the scoring around. Blocked by Stewart. Shot clock is off. Coach Baranchek says no more shooting. And Oklahoma ends the historic season of the University of Idaho. This Idaho team, champions of the Big Sky, were just no match for the Sooners of the SEC, as Jenny Baranchek has got to be thrilled with this performance.
Definitely thrilled with this performance. Every single player contributed to in some type of fashion. They came out, the up-tempo game, the energy that was in the building, but at the end of the day, the way they played together as a team and came out with a W to allow them the opportunity to advance to Sunday's games.
End of the season for the Vandals. They finished 29-6. A program record for wins this season. And they go back to Moscow, Idaho with their heads held high. And the Sooners looking forward to their match